WJBW is made possible by sausage. Stick one in your mouth.
Hey, all you racists out there, you should not be listening to our show because we do not like you. JB Retro.
Next.
Bob Leamy is the one guy that I know that has a drill bit big enough to do a big, nice, glory hole at any drug stop he goes to.
You're very silly. You know that. It's silly, man.
No. Fastest man to woman. That's what we're going to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't listen to some of our podcasts. Seriously.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, some people are into that. I know there's a website.
Fucking asinine.
Some shit like that. You gotta do the Rocky Mountain Ride.
Big disco.
Boy. Everybody get the Rocky Mountain Ride.
Yeah, I like it.
Seriously.
Yes. Wow. There you go. Smooth transition. The JB Rev Show. I am JB Webb. Welcome to this week's edition. It's hashtag Factory Reset. And I think that makes sense to people in the world today, right? Can't always be going 1,000%. So this opportunity to give you a couple weeks with your family can potentially be a great thing. So we want to encourage you this week to not be afraid of a little bit of free time. Do some things you wanted to do, maybe. Do a little research, learn something new. Great time to learn, that's for sure. What can you learn in 2 weeks? Anyway, I'll give you the skinny on this edition. I am the only one solamente here in studio. So you're going to have to deal with that. On this edition, we do have a pretty stacked lineup. So about 7:30, we are going to talk with Jason Earl, who has a podcast called The Marinade with Jason Earl. Very much the same there, the same name, so that's good. We've been able to prove that. We've authenticated that. Imaginary intern in the room? Yes. Okay. Validated my point. Thank you. After that, 8 o'clock hour, we've got a call with, I want to say it's Marshall Rones. Yeah, that's right. A Montgomery Drive. Almost called a Monty. Wow, mix that up. Anyway, Marshall's a badass. The guy behind a lot of shows here in Orlando through the name of Montgomery. What is it? Montgomery Drive. That's what it is. Anyway, now you're going to stammer around. I think it's so great, some of the things that we're seeing right now in the world. You're seeing people come together. You're seeing innovation. One big thing I will say, these automakers really doing it. Shutting shit down. Saying, what can we manufacture? What can we make? That is brilliant. Thank you, automakers. And then, you'll see these little stories about people that are kind of doing an improv move. They're helping other people by doing things with 3D printers. I think this is fascinating. I do. Remarkable. So they're creating the parts they don't have. They're recreating them. They're mass producing them with these little 3D printers. It's remarkable. Oh, I didn't finish the other thing? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, to wrap out the show, there you go. It's Jack DeMarco breaking news badly, of course. So we'll get to that a little bit later. But I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, about people coming together, about the country kind of doing this, jumping on the loose ball, as it were. Giving us a little bit of, what would be the best way to say it? That good old American spirit, I would say. We're helping each other. So this factory reset, I think, is a super important part of our whole existence here. If you're alive right now and you're witnessing this here in America, this is super important. I think a lot of good stuff is going to come from this. It's sad that people have to die. It's sad that we weren't notified sooner or we didn't take action sooner. But in saying that and keeping with the optimism, I think it's great. People are on Facebook doing Facebook Live videos. People that can't perform out in restaurants are, doing virtual shows and asking people, they're doing basically online busking, right? Anyway, and the federal government's trying to work together. Oh, they're not? No, they are? They're not trying? They are not trying. Oh. All right. We'll figure it out. You gotta have faith in them, I guess. Or just vote for somebody else, right? I don't know. This whole businessman emperor thing. Businessman royalty. I don't know, man. You gotta have layers of authority and protection, I say. Anyway, and that's America to me. I am JB Webb at Radio JB Webb on the box of tweets. Let's do this. I got phone lines open, 407-906-9328. And you can also text that line. That's the important thing to know, to walk away with here. The important thing that we talk about here is you can also text 407-906-9328. Tell us something. Are you guys getting through this okay? I think Orlando's going to be just fine. And recently here in Florida, they called notice for Orange County, for the counties, put people on lockdown. So I guess, in any gestation, you can get it 2 weeks solitary confinement, throwing your ass in the hole voluntarily, no less. We should do it. Right? If you know how these things work, apparently that's how, it spreads, a viral disease. So lacking it, starving it out is a fine way to take a safeguard that's pretty fucking relaxing, I say. Pretty laid back. 2 weeks off. You can work from home and roll out of bed in your Jimmy Jams. Don't have to battle traffic. The stress levels alone are just going to instantly go down in this country, I think. When you don't have to drive to work on a crazy-ass interstate road 70 miles an hour to get to work, it's much better when you can leisurely drive your way to work. Anyway, I'm just rambling on, but like I said, we try to do this show to help promote others and talk with talented people. I started back in 2010, and we've been doing it in one way, one kind of incarnation or another. So it's always great, to look back at that for me. And, seeing how the world is now with everybody on Facebook and YouTube, I'm like, man, this is it. Everybody's doing it. Everybody is, the same with the podcasters. Oh my God. I'll tell you what, I joined this podcast group on Facebook, and there are so many new podcasts and people asking advice for podcasting. It's great that there's a culture and a community. It's really good. But when you think about, it's 10 years, who could you ask? There was nobody, So I love to see those things. I love to help out wherever I can. And you can submit information. If you got a podcast you want to promote, we do that, WJBWnetworks.com. We talk with people. And this has kind of been the format. Try to do an evergreen style interview where we're straight up learning about the individual. And then talk about, the ways that people can interact with them. So we've been doing that for 10 years. And I'm happy to report again, we're coming to the end of the season apocalypse, and that's supposed to be here at the end of May. So we'll definitely be trying to do as many shows as we can telephonically without worrying about bringing people in here, I guess. So that's kind of the state. That's what's happening. I don't want to say state of the scene, but we do want to support each other. Yeah, I say state of the scene. It's not me that's state of the scene. It's Tommy. It's Frankie. Frankie Mimosa. What? No, Frankie Messina. Okay. Anyway, well, all right. So there you go. I got a call. Hey, thanks for calling the JB Rev Show. What it do? Who does be?
Last time you had
I got. Say that again.
Barbecue,
Jimbo.
I don't know. Jimbo. Hey, man.
Oh, it's Jimbo. What's up, dude? Yeah, we got your message with the barbecue. Thank you. Last week.
Oh, was it your birthday, or were you just making barbecue?
No, it was. No, they were roasting me like Hollywood roast style, but yeah. So that's what the barbecue meant. There was no real barbecue.
Man, yeah.
Well, I know you're down where they make really good barbecue, right?
Yeah, we're over here in Texas, yeah.
Well, you, Jimbo. So tell me a little bit about you, man. What are you calling about? You got something to talk about?
Well, I remember we talked about, my whole, the rhinos and shit were going crazy, but now
Okay, right.
the rhinos are dead. The virus apparently found a way to kill the animals too with the rhino, but as well as, that's all, because I run a golf course,
Okay.
during the day.
Yeah, you were
and then
saying
I
that.
also have, another business.
Oh, your business.
Basically where
Okay, what's this other
I have
business?
more than one business.
Okay, what's the other business?
But
Something to do with
more
golf?
of a gentleman's club.
Oh,
Not, it definitely has to do with big boppers and little putters. Mm.
that sounds
anyway,
weird. Okay.
yeah, so
that little noise you made
it's
was
gonna-
weird. All right.
It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get even more weird. I have to explain, the whole thing.
So what?
Anyway,
it's a gentleman's
I run
club. Okay.
It's not like a strip club with real actual women.
What?
They're way too high maintenance.
There's no women?
So I have a robot brothel.
What?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So basically, what I do is I have different robots of different kinds, and men come in and they fuck the robot.
Like Westworld shit?
And you can actually you can marry the robot.
What?
You can take the robot home. You can have different
Right.
ethnicities, different personalities, different
That's ridiculous.
voices with it.
Right.
So it's we had a couple of refurbished ones that we had to
What? Refurbished. So
Yeah,
when
there was-
guys come in there and
Yeah.
these are like whole women, or they're just the bottoms or tops of women? I don't get it. They're robot looking women.
It was an aquatic malfunction. So basically, what happened was there was the robot got too wet, and all of a sudden, we call him Stubby Steve now. But point is, now he's got half his manhood now.
What?
So he works for me now after the
This is
divorce.
big.
He
Jim-
helps with the golf.
Jimbo,
He picks up, with the driving range. He
kept him
reruns
there.
that little golf cart.
cut
So that
off
way
half
he
his
picks up all the
pecker.
the loose
Wow.
golf balls to recollect them. Yeah. So
I
Stubby
don't
Steve,
believe this.
he's a good guy, but I had to hire him to avoid the lawsuit later down because he did
Oh.
get a divorce.
I see. But you cut half the man's penis got cut off in one of these sex dolls.
That was the robot's fault. I
Okay.
did not. That was China's fault. Once again, China
What?
messing with the U.S. of A.
Oh, don't you
okay.
start.
Anyway, but my point is, so we got them all fixed now. We got some technicians down here. They're all fixing everything. So we're selling them on eBay, on Amazon.
You're not
Amazon is so expensive.
Oh,
with all
so
the
this-
fees. I hate it.
this-
eBay is my best market there for them
eBay.
Chinese.
Okay, for the
robot sex
robot
dolls.
lover.
Yeah, and every man that's a kind of a not too fond of the Me Too movement would like the mute button feature.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So the
it's
robot-
a bit,
Okay.
but you're already fucking a robot lady,
Yeah.
so why not have a mute button? Why not? Why not have a mute button?
Wait a second. What is her?
But,
is her
yeah.
voice like robot woman voice, or is it sexy woman voice? I mean, what is it?
No,
Can you
they're
give
like
us a-
sexy voice. Like when you get directions with the GPS, she's like, letting you know where everything's going.
Oh,
so
down
she
more.
can talk. You have a dirty top
wow.
button. You have a just shut up and or even a rate me feature. There's all kinds of
Okay,
fucked up shit.
that's a
we,
little.
set up
people
with this. Is
people
that
don't
too
come
far?
to you. They want that. It's a little.
Is that too far with
a
the
little-
robot? We go full blast with this. The rate me feature is very
Okay,
actually
it's very popular.
very
That's sad to hear.
very popular. More than you would think.
It's
People
so-
are closet rapers.
Okay.
But they're raping a robot.
What?
So as long as they don't get the dick chopped off, I ain't hearing no bad emails.
Okay. Then now you
That's
have
all
to
that matters. Me,
close
you,
this place down because of coronavirus. Is that why you're selling everything on eBay, or are you just selling them on eBay? I don't
No.
get. Do people actually come to a place? It's crazy.
Well, we gotta, we gotta clean them after they fuck them.
Oh, don't. Who does
Can't
that?
just have dirty
It's horrible.
Well, they have a, kind of like a. How do I say? They kind of have a self cleaning functionality,
Okay.
like
All right.
kind of like a vacuum. When you use a
Internal vacuum.
but it's got like more. But it's got like a water kind of like clean the airways kind of thing about it. So
Seems like
what
a-
it does is just you hit the. You gotta tweak the nipple, just tweak the nipple just a little bit. You gotta hold it down
Okay.
for like a good 60 seconds.
These are the.
And that's how it does. Full cleaning mode. It's going to start cleaning out, the water on the asshole, the pussy,
Okay.
all the orifices
Jesus.
you've been done fucking.
You give it a factory reset to your robot sex lover wife.
Well, it cleans it out.
How
'cause,
many
you
of
know,
these do you
you gotta
have?
cleans out all. You'd be surprised how many people come fuck a robot.
No, but
every
how
day.
many do you have? Like 3 or more?
Oh,
You have more than 3?
I got
This is scary.
no. I got a whole hen house of this shit. So this is more like on the lines of like I got at least I think 30 girls, and there's a guy one
crazy.
too if you're into that robot.
No
shit.
guy ones.
So
Nope.
you want to?
You don't want that.
And there's
Is
actually there's a
that what you
Caitlyn Jenner version, post
What?
and pre. So you can attach. It's an attachment.
This is
It's
crazy.
what you want.
Oh, it's
what you don't want.
It's an add-on.
You
Take
buy
it
it,
off.
cock or no
Detachable.
cock. You know, $50 more. gets you
Rhino
the-
cock. What? Okay. All right,
Well,
sir.
different sizes.
Jimbo,
different
you
distances.
lead a crazy life. I never really knew this all about you. This is pretty crazy. So you
Well,
do the
this
golf,
is the-
the mini golf in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the border of the Mexicanos,
Okay.
and we got to think, because of Mr. Trump, we got that wall.
All right. Well, in
but
closing,
it did take away a bit of my square footage. But
it did. Oh, you're near the wall. You're right near the wall. Okay. Well, in closing, then
right, that's right.
any thoughts on this coronavirus and how Trump's handling it?
Well, I mean,
He's doing a good job. You
it's
think?
it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch as an American.
And you're a guy that watches other guys fuck robot women. So that's
I don't watch them. I just run.
you don't watch
I
them?
run the. I don't watch. I don't watch.
Sorry.
Them. I just run the.
Okay.
I just run this crazy shit show. That's all. I don't watch. That is disgusting. How dare you think that I would want to watch another man fuck a robot? I'm selling the robot to the man to fuck a. He can take the damn robot home. I don't want to see him fuck the robot.
Okay, you just want to all right hook a brother
I'm
up
just running the business.
with a robot
You
wife.
can Google it. That's just
Okay.
real. Robot raffle.
All right. Well,
Hello.
hold
I
on.
thought
Let me
you were
see.
going up on
Let me
me.
see if I can.
Uh-oh.
Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to try to join these calls together. There we go. See if I can do it live online. We got Jimbo over there, and I think we got the Reverend just calling in right now. Everybody hearing everybody? Oh, hold on. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. I got everybody.
Would you like a robot? Would you like a sexy robot to have sex with? I got a half off for you. She's a real nice Chinese girl. She's real obedient. Like,
Are you guys?
yeah,
We just came
it's
in.
a robot brothel. Yeah.
You guys are trying to.
Yeah.
You're trying to sell the Reverend a robot wife. He's already got a really good wife, man. He doesn't need your robot wife, man.
Yeah, but does she sucking fuck like this? Once you got a
Okay.
Hoover,
All right.
she gets
All right.
soul out of your dick.
Okay, Jimbo.
Out of your back.
Well, this is Jimbo who gave us that great message last week, Reverend. Reverend's on the line. How
I'll
the
send
hell
you a free
how you
one.
doing?
Yeah, tell Jimbo stop talking over everybody. One at a time, Jimbo.
Oh. One at a time, Jimbo.
Okay.
Okay, Jimbo.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, all right. Well, the Reverend's calling in, so I'm going to let you go.
There you go.
Okay.
That's the best thing you
Let
probably
me know if you want to take robot.
All
Let
right,
me know.
buddy.
I'll get you hooked up.
All right.
You-
Thanks, Jimbo. All right, Jimbo. Thanks so
Yeah,
much
Free game of golf.
for that totally real. Do you want to
Free shipping.
drop out
Free shipping.
the name of your place out there, please?
Well, it's a suck and fuck. Come on down to Jimbo's Suck and Fuck Shack.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Jimbo.
Jimbo's
All right.
Suck and Fuck Shack.
All right.
Social distancing. It goes real nice on the
Social
billboard, like.
distancing. So you can buy a robot lover there as well. So that's wonderful. Okay. That was our first call. So there you go. Jimbo out of Mexico, Texas. And the Reverend's on the line, though. How the hell you doing, buddy?
I'm great, man. How you
Good.
doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
I'm right now, as we speak, I'm in my swimming pool,
Wonderful.
and I'm skimming pollen on top of the water. Not
You-
much, but there's enough to be skimming.
Yeah.
Very relaxing. I've been doing this past 3 days. It's great. Very, very relaxed.
Oh, so that's right. You've been early quarantined.
Yeah, I was early quarantined. Between us and the listeners, I developed a dry cough last Monday. I called my doctor. My doctor said, I think the best thing for you to do is go ahead and just stay home. There's no reason for you to come into the office because we do not have tests available to test you with.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than come in and infect anybody, just stay at home.
Yeah.
And, and let us know if anything continues. And, 80% of us are going to, have flu-like symptoms or even just cold-like symptoms or, just get through it. But it's the other 20% that we need to look out for.
Yeah.
And, it's not a prejudice against age necessarily, certainly not race.
Right.
But, the best thing to do, and, my day job consists of me going into people's homes and inspecting their homes, every single room.
Oh, yeah.
Have stuff on their every sink. So it wouldn't be, it's just not a good idea for me to be doing that in the first place.
Yeah.
For either one of us, so.
For sure. Well, good. Well, good. I'm glad. And like I was saying in the opening, I'm really glad people have time now. People have time with each other,
yeah.
And
divorce for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, not mine because I love my bride and we're very happy. And, what the funny thing, JB, is me and Dana have said before several times that we've taken many vacations since I've been with you. But we've said many times that we should just take 5 days off together and just stay at home
Right.
and do nothing and just enjoy our home. And so
that's nice.
Yeah,
No, that's what I was saying. A lot of people too, everything, the world has reset. This edition is called Factory Reset, and that's kind of what's going on in the entire world right now, and it's funny how we call this season apocalypse, and this crazy ass shit, happens right near the end of our season, so I was saying I was going to try to do as many shows from here as I can, just having people call in, or doing like we did last week. We kind of, Skyped you in through a back channel last week, so it was really cool. It was like you were in the room. Yeah. Anyway, but
that's right. That was the first lockdown actually was last week. So
yeah. So anyway, but point of all this, people have more time with each other. People are doing live performances on Facebook. It's really great to see. They're basically online busking, they're doing shows. So, we encourage people, man, that's, we're so fortunate that we have the internet during this kind of crazy situation, when you try to look at the positive out of everything.
Totally.
Anyway.
Totally. Anyway.
So I was going to break away, but let me do this, man. Since I got you on the phone here, we had arranged this interview with Jason Earl, and he was going to be in studio. So all this stuff happened.
Obviously.
Say what?
Yeah.
So let me.
I said obviously that's not happening. But.
Yeah, obviously that's not happening. Yep. So we're going to call him. So hang on the line. We're going to call Jason Earl, kind of do it live, impromptu, add a call, and I'm going to go here. And let's see if we can just get him in there into our phone call. But I will tell you, man, that's, when you're home alone like this, you have a lot of great home cooked meals and shit like that. So there's still a lot of great stuff. Oh, what's happening? Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
No, you were back. This thing put you on mute for some reason.
Okay.
Anyway, let me try it again. Hold on. 274. What's his number? All right, let's see. Let me try to get him on the line here. Try to get him on the lines. Jason Earl, calling Jason Earl. Jason Earl, hello. Copy.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
It's Jason. What's up?
What's up, Jay? Hold on, buddy. How you doing, man? Let me just get the Reverend.
Good.
Let me get the Reverend back in here. There we go. Okay, I got him back in. Thanks for hanging on there. Thanks for everybody at home hanging on and all the millions of listeners that we have. Anyway, there's the Reverend. You're there?
Hey, Rev.
Here. Hey, Jason. What's up, man?
Chilling, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm in the middle of my swimming pool right now.
That's so wonderful. Good for you. Good for you.
How are you doing?
Man, I'm great. Obviously, I've been listening to y'all. Obviously, it's terrible what's happening for a lot of folks, and it's really difficult. But, man, I've been quarantining and spending time with my lady and writing and choring under quarantine. Just all kinds of productive shit, man. It's been great.
I love it. Corn shoring, doing your chores like quarantine.
Yeah, I'm going to be jacked, dude. I've been doing so much yard work. I'm going to be ripped out of this thing. I'm going to come out of here looking all kinds of sexy with all kinds of new projects and, hopefully not go back to my normal habits after that.
That's the
thing. Most people are either going to come out of this 20 pounds lighter and all buff or 20 pounds heavier with a drinking problem.
Right. Yeah, it is. That is an interesting aspect of it. Trying to make sure that I'm balancing things too, because it's like, I'm kind of working remotely, but if I want to stay up till midnight, which is not my normal MO, then I can stay up till midnight. And if I want to have that extra glass of wine, I can have that extra glass of wine. So keeping with y'all's tradition, I poured myself a glass of whiskey, so we'll see how the night goes.
Oh, good deal. Sweet. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Scotch and whiskey. Or Scotch in conversation. Let's get him online too.
Yeah,
let's get Peter on here.
There you go. Call Peter as well. There you go. Call everybody. That would be fun to do.
Yeah, JB. Let's do a proper introduction. Give Jason a proper introduction of.
On the line with us. On the line with us, it's Jason Earl of the Marinade with Jason Earl. He's a guy locally here who's come up with a pretty interesting podcast that is dedicated to music. And over here, we do art, music, and food activism. So I love the fact that this guy is really honing in on the conversations he has. And he's got some fanboy geeky moments here in all under 100 episodes. He's pushing forward. It is Jason Earl. Happy to have you on the JB Rev Show.
Man, thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, man. And I got a correction for JB. It's not just music. He had his wonderful girlfriend on last week, or maybe the week before, and that I got to say that was a great. I'm a little biased because I've known your girl for quite a long time now, and it's so nice to see her being so creative and being with someone as talented as you, and it's just really nice to see the two of you together for real.
Wow, thank you so much, Rev. That's really, really sweet. I appreciate that.
And it's very sincere. I'm not just trying to blow smoke up your ass, but she's just. I went to the showing. I think I just saw you for a quick. We just kind of made a quick cameo just to actually vibe at Hammered Lamb. And let's go ahead and tell everybody who we're talking about right now.
Yeah, so my partner in life, Chris Osborne, is an incredible visual artist. She multidisciplinary, and she was episode 52 of my show. And I've had so many episodes released recently that I'm trying to keep track of the numbers. But she was episode 52, right ahead of her art show at the Hammered Lamb. That collection is called Dressed in Marble. It's a bummer people can't go and see it at the moment, but when this whole thing clears up, I encourage everybody to go to the Hammered Lamb and check it out. She is just an incredible, in fact, right. So here's an example. She's an incredible creative. Right now, she's painting a mural of our puppy on the back wall of our house. As we speak, that's what she's doing. And as someone who is a creative myself, it's so inspiring to have Chris in my life because she's constantly doing something. It's like there's a painting, she's woodworking. She's making a film. We were just talking earlier about how we have so much more time together right now, and how much fun it would be to do kind of a film project, at the moment. So it's been, we've been together a little over 6 years, and through that time, just constantly learning from her and her process. But she was episode 52 of the show, and I highly recommend folks check that out on your podcast app.
Definitely. But enough about her, because we're talking to people. But I'm glad, because it really, I used to work with her, probably 8-9 years ago. And she's awesome. It's nice to see the two of you together because two creative forces like you, there's no stopping you guys,
Thank you so much.
When's the wedding?
I mean, who knows, man? Yeah, we'll see with this quarantine. I may emerge from this completely ripped and also married. I don't know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Talking with Jason Earl of the Marinade with Jason Earl. We love to learn about people, and enough of the reverends catching up with you at the old family dinner there, or whatever that was. But we love to learn about people and their backgrounds, learn kind of, have you always been inclined as an interviewee, an interviewer? Give us some history on your background as far as creativity. What how did you come up? Have you always lived here in Orlando? Give us some color.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. I grew up. I was born in Kentucky, but I grew up in Ocala, and it's one of those things where I don't want anybody else to talk bad about Ocala, but I'll be critical of it since I grew up there. And I think just the environment I grew up in, and I guess I can't really blame the town so much. It's just the way I grew up. My parents were very supportive of whatever I wanted to do, but neither one of them really considered themselves particularly creative. So I took an interest in music super young, and I always wanted to learn how to play, and I wanted to write songs, and there wasn't really an environment for me to pursue that all that much.
Right.
And so I moved away, did whatever, went to school and traveled a bit, and then I ended up back in Ocala in my 20s. And I was just kind of like, all right, I got a couple choices here. I can either decide that I'm just going to bitch and moan about being back in my hometown, or I can do what I need to do to make the most of this. So my belief was always kind of like, it's not the place so much as it is my reaction to the place. Just like I can't control other people. I can control my reactions to other people. And so I decided to start a blog, and I started a blog, and the goal of that blog was that I wasn't going to just talk about how there was a lack of culture in Ocala. I was going to find the culture of Ocala, and I was going to write about it. And so, so I'd go to shows, and I'd go to restaurants and other events, and I'd just blog about them and start to hone my craft as a writer, because I always considered myself a writer, but I wasn't willing to take that chance, right? I wasn't willing to put myself out there, because you have to be so vulnerable as an artist. And in the process, I realized, all right, I'm getting better at this. I love this. I'm going to continue to pursue it. So when I moved to Orlando,
which was like what
actually
year?
Before I moved, well, let's see. I started dating Chris in 2013, and we were long distance. I was living in Jacksonville, and she was living here. So we did 2.5 years long distance. So really, I was spending like 3 nights a week here. I would drive down on Friday, so Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then get up at that, super early, 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and drive back to Jacksonville to work the next week. So I was spending a lot of time here, and I started writing for shows I go to here in town. Oh, nice. So so wrote for them for a long time, and just had a really good experience. I learned a lot about, just about myself and about writing, and I started to get access to songwriters and musicians and other creatives in terms of just interviewing them and going to shows and covering them and honing my craft in that way. Yeah. And at some point I thought, I'm writing these pieces and I like them, I'm proud of them, but there's something lost when you are sitting face to face with somebody and you have this conversation, especially the incredible people I was talking to. I was getting to talk to these unbelievable artists who I have so much respect for. And something was lost, I felt like, in the written word that maybe I couldn't express, So I started thinking about a podcast. And because I'd spent so much time traveling back and forth between Jacksonville and Orlando, I took up listening to podcasts. Yeah. That wasn't a thing that I did before, because I was constantly listening to music, And the first one that really sparked my interest was the comedian Pete Holmes has a show called You Made It Weird. Yeah. And, that show. And so that podcast really inspired me. And I thought, well, I could do this kind of thing, but with the people that I'm fired up about. And so I started the Marinade.
Right on. How long ago was that now?
Yeah.
Marinade is now, let's see, the first episode was recorded almost 4 years ago, and
Nice.
yeah,
So
but
you're a little ahead of the curve. Which is
you guys are way ahead of the curve, but I think so. I think I was kind of a little bit ahead of it. I recorded those episodes. I didn't actually, it was almost a year after recording the first one that I released one, because I just didn't know what the hell I was doing. The technical aspect. I knew the interview part, but it was all DIY. And so all that other stuff, I was just learning on the fly, and I'd record, and then I'd have to like make it a written piece instead of actually releasing it because the sound quality wasn't there. And so I had a lot of starts and stops, before I finally recorded one. And I went, oh, hell yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. A little trial and error. I mean, that's great, because you really, can only work with the tools that you have. And if you understand what you're trying to do, then, you're getting the tools that are like, okay, this is what will help me do X, Y, and Z, so I love to hear.
Well, and what you were talking about, like earlier, JB, you were talking about how you didn't really have anybody to look to. Like finding a mentor was difficult. And you mentioned Peter from Scotch and Good Conversation earlier. Peter actually early on in the show sat down with me, and we had a beer at Bull and Bush, and he kind of just answered my questions. And I just didn't know anybody who had a podcast, And so just having somebody to bounce ideas off of made a big difference early on. And so I put something on Twitter the other day just to say to people, hey, if you're thinking about a DIY podcast, I've made all the mistakes and I've learned all the lessons so far. I'm still growing, obviously, but let me know, and I'll put that out to anybody listening right now. Hit me up, Marinade Podcast on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. I love talking about this stuff, but you need somebody, because otherwise you're just going to keep making mistakes, which is fine. You're going to learn from that, but it helps to have a mentor.
Jason, I got to say, you're exactly right. I mean, in all honesty, JB is like a podcast guru, and he's been doing this for 10 years, and, he never gets the recognition of it. And, that's part of the reason that I'm like, do this with him is because, he's a master at his craft, and he's been doing it for, a fucking decade. I mean,
crazy.
Well,
I know, right?
I think I think that you got to look at the fact that I started way differently. I started on YouTube, so I was doing audio visual. But it was the same spirit because I had roots in radio, and I always loved the radio aspect of podcasts. But when we do this, we do it live, right? And we try to do it every week. And we try to just hold true to some simple things, learn about people. So the fact that, the Rev was like really pushing, like, hey, man, we got to have this guy in studio. And I was like, man, you got to be, here. We got to get you in. So I'm glad we were able to do this kind of three-way call to get everybody on the same page again, because it is so important. We need each other as human beings,
Right.
So not to make this all about, me or anything, but thanks, Rev. That was, last week we did this freaking roast, and it's like it's you should my home life is crazy. My wife roasts me the best, and I'm like, why haven't you been on this damn roast?
Too,
you
man.
need to like your wife can roast you so good. Anyway, going a lot of places. On the line, Jason Earl, the Marinade with Jason Earl. Go ahead, the Rev.
So to go back to your wife roasting you, and listening to Chris's podcast on the Marinade, she was kind of roasting you a bit at times as well, which was and it's just nice to see you doing this and doing it so well. It's
thank you.
And that's why it's
back to that.
I'm glad to have you as a guest, Jason.
Yeah, back to that,
Thank
though,
you
too.
so much.
I read recently you got to actually do a big interview. You've been, almost, on the thought of it, created the very show for this kind of interview. So why don't you give us a little flavor around some of the recent activity going on with the Marinade?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'd love to, because, wow, we had some cool guests recently. When I first started this thing, I've been a huge fan of the band Lucero for many years. And when I first started the Marinade, I thought, all right, dream guests. And I kind of just, I was sketching out ideas and trying to figure out, first of all, what's the show going to be called? What is it? What is the format for it? All those kinds of questions I was asking myself. And then once I got through that process, I thought, all right, let's kind of shoot for the moon. Like who are the dream guests that you would want to have? Because a lot of the people, I only interview people that I'm just wildly crazy about, right? So every interview you hear on the Marinade is somebody that I'm crazy about their work. Yeah. And I thought, all right, Ben Nichols of Lucero was one of the first or second people that came to mind. And I've been chasing him for a couple of years, and it just hasn't lined up for whatever reason. And so the other day, it was in February, and they played The Social with Jade Jackson, who is my most recent episode. And if you haven't listened to Jade Jackson, listen to Jade Jackson. She's wonderful. And so I made it happen, and then I reached out to Jade, and Jade was available too. And my friend Alicia Pollock, who's a wonderful photographer, was there, and she took photos of us in the interview process. It just worked out so nicely where it was loud because Lucero was sound checking. So we ended up going on to Lucero's tour bus because their management and everybody's amazing. They're just, I can't, those folks are good folks. If you like Lucero's music, you're going to like the folks even better. They're just so nice and so down to earth. So they brought us on the bus, and we just went to the bus and sat down, and I interviewed Jade. It was this really intense conversation, but she had to go sound check. And so we were that interview, it's the most recent episode. I just dropped it on Sunday night. And it ends almost with us being like, I wish I had more time. Give me another hour. Those conversations where you're just like, God, I wish I had all the time in the world to talk to you.
That's healthy. Yeah, but you got to, I wish you'd have had this or that or whatever. I mean, at the end, you have to be happy with what happened, because it is kind of surreal, though, to go back and critique yourself. I totally understand.
Well, that's an interesting point too. I just interviewed G Love of G Love and Special Sauce, and that was a really, really fun experience for me too, because I listened to him for 20 years or so, and when I was talking to him, I put out there we had this conversation during the episode about feedback, and I was telling him how scary it is sometimes to get feedback, but how I need it, and I crave it, right? Because the only way you're going to grow. If I'm my own critic all the time, then I'm just going to beat myself up, or I'm going to miss something, right? And so you always need that kind of objective voice. And it's hard with a podcast because the people listening to the show are fans of either me or my guest or the show in general.
Right.
So, they're not as inclined to tell me, hey, you missed an opportunity here, or the sound was off here. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I'm glad people like it, but at the same time, to grow, it's a delicate balance.
That's for sure. Talking to Jason Earl.
It is delicate balance.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Those tiny little hands.
Who we talking with?
Yeah. We're talking with Jason Earl. There it is. DJB Rev Show. The Marinade with Jason Earl. We suggest you go check that out. It is a great production. You really do a great job, man. Your candor, is raw. You're knowledgeable, and you chauffeur the conversation along quite nicely. So,
wow, thank you. That's high praise. I really appreciate that.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, the big thing I think, I learned this week, I'll tell you what, I love some Howard Stern. And
I missed, I'm sorry.
Howard Stern.
Howard
Howard Stern. Howard Stern.
A judge on America's Most Wanted, right?
Okay, all right, that's 3 years ago there, Deputy Dog Sheriff, the Reverend. Oh, no, that's wrong. Oh, anyway.
Wait, he used to be the manager.
Stern.
Howard Stern was the manager of Anna Nicole Smith.
What's wrong with you? That's right. You are right, though. You're right, but an idiot. Thank you.
I know. Why are you bringing him up?
So anyway.
He's got nothing to do with podcasts, radio.
Well, here's the point. Oh, my God. Shut up and let me say it. Jeez. Here's the freaking point, though. He on Monday and Tuesday did a show from his house on this meeting service, and they broadcasted it over Sirius Radio. So the audio, was kind of shitty, and they were all had, but it didn't really matter because it was like, hey, Howard's broadcasting from his house,
Yeah.
So the point of that is it was kind of like a podcast,
Oh, is that your point?
That is my point.
It's not quite the point.
Well,
did anyone ever tell you that?
I don't understand what. All right.
I don't know.
Hey, did you know
I just
when you're on
when
you're on a three-way call, you can just hang up on one of the two people? Did you know that?
Oh,
okay.
I'm the sidekick.
You're in the pool. You're relaxing over there, Deputy Dog.
Yeah,
so just take it easy. I see him right now.
Jason, who?
He's in like a big flamingo float in his pool, sipping on corneritos, chacharitos. Oh, so good. Oh, the Reverend. Anyway, all right. Well, back to Jason.
Jason, I got to say, this goes out just like it aired. So we don't do any editing. That's the difference with our podcast, which I really got to say is unique, and why I'm involved with it, because we don't edit out the bullshit. Even, there's a lot of bullshit that should be edited out. And it was funny, like we don't with, with Chris being like, and you know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
Well, and little eccentricities about people, like my nose snorting when I laugh like that. I never really noticed that before, but the Reverend clearly points that out. Anyway.
I'm with you on that. I do some editing, but the editing is much more about volume levels. It's not really, I don't take out, like you said, I don't take out and I don't take out pauses, unless they're just really going to take somebody away from it. But that never happens.
Jason, I wasn't trying to call you out on anything. I was just saying most podcasts are.
I didn't take it that way.
No. Here we go. All right, we got Jason Earl versus the Reverend. There's a musical podcast smackdown. There we go. Who's going to win? Cast your vote. Hit me up on Venmo.
So do you understand now?
Okay.
Wait, Jason. That's what I would edit it out for sure.
Okay. You would have edited that out. No, keep it in. We're keeping it. We keep everything in the show. It's live. Anyway.
Keep it in.
We got about 5 minutes left with you here, my man. I got to run to a track after this session. It is a cover of FM. Nathan Haynes is the guy who's challenging that, Steely Dan. Nathan Haynes. Nathan Haynes. Sorry.
So I got a great question for you, Jason.
Yeah.
All right.
So all the interviews that you've been involved with, not just, and I'm very guilty of this myself, of fanboying out with some of our guests. I mean, we've had some fucking spectacular guests on this show in the 5 years that I've been involved.
Yeah.
And spectacular. We had Horror on that we interviewed.
That's right. Right out of the gate, the Reverend brings Groovy Man from Thrill Kill Cult and DJ Kioki. Like that was like his first few months. So it was a big deal. Yeah, we love that kind of stuff too.
My question to you is, I know you've been interviewed, like you said earlier, you started your podcast with your dream podcast of who you really wanted to interview. But that aside, what do you feel is the best interview that you've done and that you really learned something new about the particular artist that you had on, that you're marinating?
Wow.
Good question, right?
That's a real good question. That's a really difficult question to answer. I learned so much about each one of them. They almost always surprise me. I don't think it's hard to pinpoint one. They almost always surprise me with something. In fact, the other day when I was interviewing Matt Woods, I haven't released that episode yet, but Matt and I were talking, and I had this whole list of questions, and I realized about halfway through I hadn't even touched those questions, and I never did. Because he was saying such interesting things, and because my guests are always people that I'm fascinated with and that I love their work. it doesn't. I end up
flows.
throwing half the questions out.
Right.
You know.
It kind of flows.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess-
yeah.
So I'll say this, Jason, and JB as well. A lot of times the guests that JB will have on are people that are awesome and people that I might not know anything about. And I will specifically not do any research on them to keep it real, like coming from another point of view of like asking a question that I don't know who the hell you are. So you know what I mean? Like, so
I do.
I'll give it-
So I think I can. So I think I can build on that point.
Okay.
So the way I approach it, and I don't think one's right or the other. I want to be clear. I don't want to get in another fight with Rev here.
No, we're not fighting. Another fight.
It's like I know. I'm just talking about what JB was saying. So
Okay.
I do think episode 8, James McMurtry. Y'all know who James McMurtry is?
No.
Okay. Great songwriter. He's been doing it a long time. His father is Larry McMurtry, who wrote the series Lonesome Dove and a bunch of other amazing things. Great author. James McMurtry was the toughest interview I had.
Okay.
I interviewed him in Oklahoma City, and I flew out there specifically to interview him. That's how excited I was about this. About this opportunity, right? So I fly out to Oklahoma City. I'm sitting in the green room with James McMurtry, and everything about the scene is like kind of overwhelming me, right? I'm in a city I've never been to before. I'm backstage. It's like the room is set up in kind of there's a weird vibe. I just gone to the Oklahoma City bombing memorial earlier that day, which was a mistake. I mean, I love going. I should have gone for sure, but that wasn't the right time, right? I should have gone the next day. So I'm in a weird mood anyway, and I'm sitting there with James McMurtry, and I had my questions, but he's not giving me a whole lot. He's answering my questions.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hold on to the story. Put a pin in the story. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I think I got Marshall. Marshall, are you there with me?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great. All right. I'm going to see if I can merge in the call. We're in the middle of a story with our previous guest before you. So hang on the line. I'm going to try to merge you in with Jason Earl and my co-host, the Reverend, who are both on a two-way call over there. So hold on. Okay. So, hey, I think I got welcome back. It is the JB Rev Show, and we're doing things we haven't done before. I believe I have Marshall Rones on from Montgomery Drive. Is that accurate?
Yes, speaking.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we also have still our friend Jason Earl.
Hello.
Look at that.
Right in the middle of something.
Look at that. So, Marshall, hang on the line. We're going to go into from Jason's story and kind of end with him, and then go into your session. But this is we got a 4-way call going. I can't. We got to broadcast it. I don't know. Anyway, all right.
It sounds great to me.
Good deal. All right, Jason Earl was in the middle of a story. Give us a quick recap.
Okay, so I've interviewed James McMurtry. I flew out to Oklahoma City to interview him. I'm really excited. It's a huge get for me. It's episode 8 of the show. It's way back in 2018. I say way back, but we've done so many episodes since then, right? So I'm sitting there with James McMurtry. It's a weird vibe in the room. I'm ready though, right? I've done all this research, but I've also just gone to the Oklahoma City bombing memorial earlier that day, and so I'm out of sorts. So I'm going through the questions, and he is answering my questions. Like he's not ducking anything. He's not like dodging. He's just answering the questions, but almost very matter-of-factly answering the questions. And usually, I mean, the Marinade is a free-flowing conversation about the creative process with creative people. It usually flows. In fact, this is the only one that I can think of that wasn't really flowing.
Yeah.
And I left that, and it's fun. If you go listen to it, it's episode 8. I encourage folks to go listen to it. He's an amazing writer. It's fine. It sounds good. But I learned a lesson that day, and that was I'm never going into a conversation without really being ready in case I run into that wall again, right? So
what would you do? What would you do?
Then.
What would you do differently, Jason?
I would have had other angles. I would have thought, so instead of, like if my line of questioning wasn't going the way that I expected, I would have had other angles. What I've learned since then is that if if I'm pursuing a line of questioning with somebody, or if I want to talk about something and that person doesn't want to talk about it, I do a much better job now. And I knew this at the time. I just didn't do a very good job in the moment.
Yeah.
I've now learned to really pivot. Like if they're not feeling it and you're picking up that vibe, change the course of the conversation. I mean, that happened when I first met Chris. I approached her, started talking to her, and I realized it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. She was not picking up what I was, she was not vibing with what I was saying. So I just pivoted and started talking about something else, you know, and I think
Who did? I like that.
I pivoted. Yeah. So I think with McMurtry, this guy who's got however many, you know, he's got 40 years of career or whatever. I may be, he may even have more than that.
He just didn't. There was no
identity,
no linking in. It wasn't a fluid. I feel you. So
it wasn't fluid. Right?
I mean, but I love that, man. That you do keep it that way. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your point though. But
no, I appreciate it. I think you just succinctly said that's the marinade, right? It's supposed to be similar to how you keep this free flowing. It's supposed to be a free flowing conversation, and that was my vision from the beginning, and that's what I want.
That's awesome.
So, hey, can I make a recommendation? And, you know,
for sure.
It's just like, that's the whole reason I'm part of the JB Rev show, is because he does the research. I act like the fool. So you just need a wingman. You know? Like if I would have been there the first time you met Chris, you guys would have been together already.
Wow. All right.
I handled it pretty well on my own, I'd say.
Jason Earl, go check out what he's got going on. Shut up, the Reverend over there. All right, shut up. Go check out Jason Earl, what he's got going on. It is the JB Rev Show. We'll be back. All callers, hold on the line. We'll be immediately back with a great session. Jason, what's the best place for people to go check out your stuff?
You can find us on all major podcast platforms. If you just type in the Marinade, we're the only thing that pops up. Or you can go to marinadepodcast.com. Also at Marinade Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm pretty active on Twitter and fairly active on Instagram, but don't follow me on Instagram if you don't want to see pictures of my adorable puppy.
That's perfect. It's the JB Rev Show. We'll be right back.
WJBW, Orlando, Florida. The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow. There we go. That's all we needed. That little breakaway. The JB Rev Show. Love talking with talented people. Man, that was a great conversation with Jason Earl. And I don't know if you guys got the time, you can hang on the line, but on the telephone now, we've got a session lined up with this guy. I'm excited to learn as much as I can about him. His name's Marshall Rones. He does the production behind Montgomery Drive. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on in town that he's kind of behind and involved with, and I'm very honored and privileged to have you on our session. How you doing, Marshall?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, Marshall. Thank you for being on, for sure. And thanks for holding on through that, you know, that, and yeah, thank you.
No, it was fine. It was like a good conversation.
Yeah. Well, given the times, I figured it was perfectly appropriate. So, and I think it's great that our Jason is hanging on the line. So is the Reverend is in a pool over there. What are you doing right now?
Me, I'm just at home.
Just at home chilling.
Yeah. I mean, we're the whole COVID-19 situation.
I want to talk to you. Yeah, I want to talk to you about how this has affected everything, you know, with Montgomery Drive. But most importantly, I want to learn about Montgomery Drive because I love the name. It's like a great production company name. So, give us a little history about you, Marshall, your backgrounds, where you come from, and then kind of sway right into Montgomery Drive.
Sure. Yeah, I'm originally from Miami. The street that I grew up on was Montgomery Drive.
Oh, nice.
So just to kind of bring all that together. But yeah, I mean, in high school, I started playing music. My band needed gigs. I started booking and knocking down doors. Next thing I knew, I was booking a ton of shows at Churchill's and simultaneously going to college. And after I, finished college, I did the touring thing for a while.
Right.
Went back to school, graduated my bachelor's, went back out on tour. Then moved to Orlando. Finished up my master's degree. Went back out on tour in Japan. That was like my second time going out there. And then when I got back, I don't know. I'd always like kept booking in Miami, but I just never put my name on it. I guess that never had occurred to me at that point, because Montgomery Drive was for a long time more the name I used for my solo project. And I don't know. Then I finished my master's, got back on tour. I started working Social Beacham for a few years, just working with them. And then when I left there were a lot of changes that it felt right to just kind of focus on doing my own thing and stamping my name on it. And since then, things have been great.
Yeah.
So
that was probably 2 or 3 years ago, or how much further back does that go?
Does what go?
Well, just the actual transition into kind of doing Montgomery Drive, just kind of really being dedicated.
Full time?
Yeah, like dedicated. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of it being more of like a full-time thing, probably 3 years, but it's been, it's something I've kind of, like, that name goes back 15 years to stuff in Miami. So
that's awesome.
Before it was just never anything. I was like, oh, this could be what I do.
Right. That's a great point. And on the line with Marshall Rones, again, I love that you have a really well-learned background, as it were, certified and everything, because, those things are important. There's discipline, there's structure. I've always been a big fan of, being a lifelong learner, until they, put me in the ground. I want to keep soaking it in. I want to keep learning, because that's what I think that the whole trick of life is. You get stuck and stymied into one thing. Anyway, but in saying all of that, man, you've got some really great, talented people that you're bringing to the forefront here. You're doing shows at Will's. There's other locations that I've seen. But so just give us maybe the flavor of how Montgomery Drive has been perceived. Some of the people you've been associating these events with. Our friends out at
sure.
what's it called out there?
Lee
Road. No, it's off Edgewater.
Let me answer the question. It was a good question.
Oh, the Hanau Center. Yeah.
Hanau. Thank you.
Yeah. First off, I don't think you ever stop learning. And if you think you know everything, then you have no business. You should be doing something else. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I wholeheartedly agree with that. In terms of like the rooms I work with, I work remotely with a venue in Baltimore called The Crown that has 3 rooms. So I juggle that, and then as far as everything here in Orlando, I primarily focus on Will's and Soundbar. I also work with the Hanau Center.
Yeah.
I'll occasionally also book shows at Uncle Lou's or Grumpy's or the Falcon. Sometimes it's more about what the event is and what feels right for that overall experience. So it can vary.
I'm sorry. I got a question for you. And just because of, the times that we're going through right now, and this is the Reverend, by the way, is, with what we're going through right now and all the shows that are obviously canceled or postponed, there's, I got to tell you, I've got at least 4 shows that I've already have tickets, bought. One being in Chicago, and at April 29th, and then Kraftwerk and like whatever. I've got these big shows. I've got probably $600-700 in tickets that I, shows that are coming up in the next month and a half. And how's that been? And how you, the booking agents, especially, how are you dealing with this right now, or is it just too new to even comprehend?
I mean, it's a process, I don't even know when it just kind of happened, and next thing I know, like in March, things started falling by the wayside. And then, ultimately, this is unprecedented. It's a weird situation, and everybody wants everybody to be safe. I think it's really important to stress that's not just limited to the artist performing or myself, that's the venues, that's their staff. That's if it's a band that's coming on tour with with the whole production crew. That's them. That's patrons. And because of that, and the way that this thing, what we've been told how it spreads, we're kind of all just stuck, And on my end, I had a lot of things that have canceled and postponed, and that's okay. I was planning on just going to Disney World for a quick vacation in April, but here we are. So with those bigger shows, even if this changes tomorrow, like you mentioned, like the Kraftwerk event or something massive like that, if this is all resolved tomorrow, it's still going to take months for that to be back on track, because that's something that's routing an entire massive tour. So that's not something that's doing like a run of shows in Florida only.
Right. Right. But I mean, in all perspectives, like, these massive, North American tours from the English artists like Dead Can Dance, who I was going to see in Chicago, April 29th, Ministry, I got tickets for Kraftwerk. I've got, you know what I mean? It's just like all of these, they're all like postponed, if not canceled, and it's like, and I hate to be, I never like to get political, but with, our commander in chief saying that we're going to get through this by, Easter, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. And, it's just like, I mean, is this all you do? I mean, is this your only source of income per se? Like, I mean, like, you have a you know what I mean? Like,
I like it.
Sure. I mean, so I juggle this again. I juggle all the stuff in Baltimore, but the Baltimore side is not restricted to only booking. There I'm in house, so I'm also handling a lot of social media and other things like that.
Gotcha.
So I mean, there's a lot of different. I wear a lot of hats. Yeah. So I mean, this is one of many. But
you talked about this, Marshall, not to cut you off, but you talked about this as a part of a project you were doing kind of with yourself. I presume musically related. This maybe was a one-man band. If so, I'm interested to learn a little about that too.
Yeah, and not to cut him off, I was waiting for that answer, but go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, wait. So what was your? Let me go back to you. And
now I already forgot what we were talking about.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think you were asking about if that was all I did. I was just saying like that.
Well, I mean, are you kind of? Yeah, exactly. Like, do you
that's a huge part of it. But I've always prided myself on trying to be, as diverse as possible. So that's a section of the pie that's gone, as it were. But that's also something I'm passionate about, and I have all those other things lined up and
that's great
and functioning, so that way it allows me to supplement things. So that way it helps cushion myself.
You can do some virtual stuff, too.
Sure. I mean, I've spoken to a couple people about that. There's a lot of people doing virtual things right now in terms of streaming. I mean, I've been working on some other creative things that we'll see what happens with those. Awesome. But I'm not limiting myself to anything. If there's a good live stream opportunity, I'm open to that. Yeah. If there's something where we're working on like a video game and integrating things in, that's great. Everybody's stuck at home. You know what I mean? So. Right. Will this be done by Easter? I would love to think so, but I until they're, without getting too political there, until they can test everybody, I don't see how it's resolved that quickly.
And without being political, by the way, Trump's not a doctor, so
far from it. I'm not going to go there, but hopefully we have some serious change in November. But yeah, in terms of music, I when I was young, I thought I wanted to be a pro wrestler, and then I got and I was like, what? Cool. I don't have the build for getting a pro wrestler.
We got a great name for it.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, I was just like, I don't have the build for this. I started playing, and I found like that turned into something I loved doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I knew, I was, like I as I mentioned in the beginning, I had touring opportunities. I got to travel to Japan a couple times, and it was just, I made lots of friends, and it just kind of all snowballed from there very quickly.
Right. Talking with Marshall Rones, that he wanted to be a wrestler. He turned out being a great organizer and producer behind Montgomery Drive, which puts on a lot of great shows around here in Orlando. And with everything up in the air, man, I love to hear your positive, spin and attitude on everything, because, it really is that, being multifaceted, that's a huge commodity. In the world in general, so, people have this time. And like I said in the beginning of the show, sometimes it's good to stop and learn something new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I when I realized I didn't have the build to be the next John Cena, I fell in love with music. I really dove deep into Mike Patton.
Yeah.
And he, exactly. I mean, he's the man, right?
Yeah.
He's got a million music projects, has his own label, does music for movies. So I've always just kind of looked at the industry as the same thing. Everything's all interconnected. We don't have to restrict ourselves to only being a producer, only being a promoter, a booker, a musician. I mean, there's enough room for us to do as many things as we want to tackle.
Right.
Totally. Hey, aren't you impressed how Mr. Bungle and Faith No More are both in the studio recording? Faith No More is done, but Mr. Bungle is in studio as we speak, apparently, from something I just read today.
That guy's remarkable.
Yeah, my buddy Sam saw them earlier this year. I'm super jealous.
Oh, dude, my friend Mike Feinberg saw them with Horror, who we've had on this show before. Yeah. Horror opened up for Mr. Bungle about a month ago, and Horror has been on our show. Yeah, so I know exactly. Yeah, yeah, man. It's nice having you on the show and being able to talk with you.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate you all having me.
Hell yeah. I thought Jason was still on the line. Is Jason still on the line? Hold on, let me look. No, he's out of there. Oh, okay. I guess maybe I can only do 2 calls at a time, so maybe I bumped him out. But I thought we tested he was there, but he dropped off. Anyway, we're talking with
doesn't matter.
Marshall Rones. Yeah, doesn't matter. But you would like this guy, Jason. Yeah. Anyway, but Marshall, man, you again exemplify to me somebody that is sharp. You're constantly looking forward. So in saying all of that, we've been trying, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but we've been trying to organize this Screaming Peacock Festival.
That's not happening now, though.
But listen, we could do it virtually. Anyway, so I wanted it to be an online fundraiser for Second Chance Wildlife Sanctuary. Anyway, so yeah, you don't have to answer me that. You can, if you want to be a part of that with me, I'd love to talk with you offline. Anyway.
Absolutely. I definitely know some bands that would really definitely be into that as well. We actually earlier this month we did it was like a charity event for the Pet Alliance of Greater Orlando.
Okay.
It was like Zap Dragon and the
great.
Fatties and Distant Station Sat Halen ended up playing, and we did that at Will's, and we raised like over $600.
That's great.
Just off the straight donations. So I mean, I love doing things like that. Anything that is serving a bigger purpose too, in addition to being a escape for people.
For sure.
Nice.
Well, so if people want to go find about Montgomery Drive, what are some good sites?
I have that handle on everywhere. It's MontgomeryDrive.com, at Montgomery Drive on Twitter, Instagram. I downloaded TikTok because I got some time during this whole thing. I haven't figured it out, but you know what?
How is it?
Lock down the name.
Yeah, good for you.
Have you posted anything on TikTok yet? Because I don't. Obviously,
I posted something with my dog walking, with who let the dogs out.
Oh my god! So let me ask you.
So I understand Jason's posting his dog too.
Let me ask you, like, what? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. Fuck TikTok. I just know it's something that the kids are doing, and like stay ahead of the game. You got to do it too. You know.
Hey, I'm over here. I'm over here on TikTok now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if it's one other place to post something and try to reach people, then
there you go.
There's networking. There's no
networking.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. Hey, man, I'm glad we had you on the show tonight.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thank you.
Right on. All right, JB, what you got, buddy?
So, no, I was just messaging our guest Jason there. I thought he was still on the line. But what again I think is so interesting, is Marshall is documenting, this stuff with like real life events and 3D, so I really want nothing but your success, because I think what you got and what you're bringing here to Orlando and what you're overall, accomplishing with your, pushing the right kind of art and sound and music forward. So thank you so much for doing that, dude. I look forward to great stuff from Montgomery Drive for years and years.
Oh, man, sure. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Well, I love the project. I love it. Sorry, go ahead. I think I grabbed some songs. Let me go double check that you sent me some bands.
I just wanted to say it was great having you on, Marshall. I'm like, we were talking to the guest before, Jason, who has a podcast.
Yeah.
He said it was called the Marinade, right?
Marinade. Exactly. And I was
be right back.
Explaining to him that, wait. Hello? Okay, so it's just me and you. So I was explaining to him, Marshall, that a lot of times we'll go into an interview where JB knows a lot about the guest, or he'll do the research on the guest. That way he's got these questions, ready for the guest. But I like to come in like uneducated, like say a listener that's never heard of you before, and ask the questions that like off the cuff, like, oh, well, that's cool to know. You know what I'm saying? It's like good cop, bad cop, or maybe smart cop, dumb cop is a better way to describe that. Like one cop knows what you did. The dumb cop's like, what the hell did you do? You know what I mean?
You may think of other things because you're going in blind like that too. That translates to what I do too sometimes, because there are definitely occasions where I've had bands that are like, hey, we're bringing so-and-so on tour with us. So that's just what it is. And, a lot of times, like when it's something brand new like that, I'll maybe jam a song or two, but I try not to dive too deep, because I don't know, I get more enjoyment personally experiencing that live. There's only so much that I feel like comes across in a recording, depending on what it is,
Marshall, that's a great analogy, because I can't tell you how many times that I've gone to see a band that I absolutely know, but the band that might be touring is bringing on an opening act that they're really passionate about, and how many bands that I've gotten turned on to because of the opening act. So that's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? It's like, Marshall, it's been awesome having you on, bro.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, this has been an awesome Jason said free flowing conversation, but that's definitely what it's felt like, which is nice.
Yeah. Well,
awesome.
and we want to encourage people, go check you out. We say the next stuff coming up, that's all, everything's going to be quickly able to be deployed. I'm sure. And I have a couple of tracks, man, I was going to play after our conversation, which I will get to, I guess, a little later in the session. But the band Zeta and what is that? Mir. So I grabbed a couple of tracks. Yeah, from so we do an original music podcast every week called the Circadian Cast. And so I will say too, besides the Screaming Peacock thing, hit me up with that stuff too, man, because I like your taste.
Yeah, I definitely will. Yeah, I mean, I tried to give you a little mix there.
Yeah.
I mean, those are both pretty polar opposites too, depending on what you're into.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the Reverend, you're over there in a pool. Are you still in the pool? Did you get out of the pool, Reverend?
No, I got out of the pool a little bit a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm still walking around pacing my pool now.
Oh, you're all dried off though.
I'm dried off, bro.
Are you okay? Are you?
But not that it matters.
I know you're not allowed back in the house if you're not dry. You got to be dry before you can go back in that house.
Marshall, it's been awesome having you on tonight. That being said,
Great talking to you, man.
All right, so the Reverend, are you bailing out? All right, so we're going to bail.
I'm bailing, but
we're all bailing.
We're bailing.
All right, so we're going to prep up for a chat in a little bit with Jack of Breaking News Badly. So stay tuned for that.
I'll come back to that
a little bit later. All right, the Reverend, you can call back in. That's cool. Anyway, all right, so hang on the line with me, callers. We're going to that original track I was talking about, the cover of FM from Nathan Haynes. Is this it? Is that it? Is that it?
Nice.
It's not it. It's not it. The Reverend.
Technical difficulties.
Oh, the Reverend. What?
Oh, yeah, it's my fault.
Are you
Over
back?
here,
Yeah, it really is. Anyway.
Okay, then.
There it is.
I'll hang up.
Hang on the line. The JB Rev Show. We'll be right back. All right.
Off your high heel sneakers, it's party time. Girls don't seem to care what's on, as long as it plays till dawn. Nothing but blues and Elvis and somebody else's favorite song. Give us some funked up music, she treats you nice. Feed us some hungry reggae, she'll love you twice. Girls don't seem to care tonight, as long as the mood is right. No static at all, no static at all. Up music, she treats you nice. Feed us some hungry reggae, she love you twice. Girls don't seem to care tonight, as long as the mood is right. No static at all, no static at all.
Hey, if you're not having a good time, I'm not having a good time. So why the fuck you listening? Get the fuck off my channel. WJBW, all one word, .com.
There it is. All right, the JB Rev Show. I am JB Webb, live in studio. We've had quite an interesting little call cadence there. Jason Earl, and then joined by the call with Marshall Rones. So there you go. That's how we're doing it. Back-to-back, fresh, back-to-back pancakes. No, you don't want to put pancakes back-to-back. What am I saying? Where are these people that are keeping me in line? We got breaking news badly. Jack DeMarco coming up. I guess before that, it's always good to know, do you know how things work? Do you know how government works? Yeah. Everything can take a long time or a little bit time, right? So, right now, it's good to maximize everything you have. I don't think anything in life has ever been more prescient than to sit here and say, hey, all the money's shut down. All we have are each other. And we've had this all the while. So even when you see people fighting online and shit, it's almost like sad, dude. You're missing it. You're missing the point. The point is we all can go any second, bro. Anybody can. Anyway, well, I don't want to bring you down. That was a great session. Appreciate everybody's input and involvement in what we do. Go check out Marshall Rones with his Montgomery Drive project, montgomeryDrive@gmail.com. That's a good way to contact him. And then before that, it's Jason Earl with the Marinade with Jason Earl. And I love that concept. Things are fluid. They flow. That is definitely how we try to do it over here. But let's see if I can summon some Jack DeMarco up in this place. Let me see. Let's get breaking news badly ready. All right, help me out. Thank you. Thank me. Thanking me. Thanking you. Thank you.
And now, breaking news badly.
All right, breaking news badly. Yes, breaking news badly. Try to give you some headlines this week. I've got a little mirth and laughter. Here's a great audio clip I want to share with you. Hold on. See if I can do it. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Sorry. Grandpa's got the wrong thing in there. All right. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. We got it going on.
That's what I always do, and they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me.
Because you're too streetwise?
Yup. And all these hoes laughing like something funny.
She's talking about the audience, that they're laughing at her.
Yeah.
Did you say the hoes are laughing?
Yep.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, my God.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Huh?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside?
What
does that mean?
Yeah.
What I just said.
Catch her outside, and she'll go outside and do what she has to do.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, there you go. That was a great little clip of audio. Breaking news badly.
Was that great?
I think I got, what? They got the Reverend on the line.
Was that great?
The Reverend.
You think? It's me?
I think it is you.
Is it? There's such a delay on the
really
on the podcast stream that I didn't know if it was really me, but apparently it's me.
Okay.
Let's see. Look,
Are you there?
I'm telling you.
Are you there?
Oh wait.
Hello.
I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
You're messing up the show from over there. What are you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh wait, look.
Hey,
listen.
you want burger?
Great. No, you think? It's me?
I think it is you.
Right.
Oh, there's such a delay.
That's a delay.
Listen to how long that delay is.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Ain't that something?
So, where's the jack off?
I don't know, man.
Is he online?
No.
Is he
Did he not call in again?
He said he was going to call.
Did he?
Yeah.
Should I message him?
8:30.
Be like, hey.
Yeah, wake him up.
Jacko DeMarco. Yeah.
Here's the next. I actually got something out with out of work strippers are delivering food through Boober Eats. So something from
Uber Eats.
YouTube. Yeah.
Hey, you want burgers, fries, and now beers? And you want 2 gorgeous women to come deliver it for you wearing booty shorts and pasties? We're bringing the party to you because you can't bring the party to us. My name is Sean Bolden. I'm the owner of Lucky Devil Lounge, and now I'm the new owner of Boober Eats PDX. We are now a food delivery service that provides customers with food with a side of boobs. Try not to laugh, I know. So this originally started as kind of a joke. We had to shut down Monday. I said, we're going to try to keep the kitchen open. I just, joking around, said, we're going to deliver dancers to your door topless, and we're going to call it Boober. The feedback just started going crazy. People were like...
Boober Eats. So what do you think of that? Let's stop that clip right there.
You want to know what I think?
What the hell is happening? What's all this noise? Sounds like you're damn under the sea, like you're fucking Sebastian or some shit. That little red
I am under
the sea. Okay, shut up. Oh my God, that's horrible. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're a cartoon that exploded or something. Anyway, would you order Boober Eats? I mean, you'd get in trouble. Can't do that.
I get Boober Eats on the hotline.
Boober Eats is on the hotline?
No.
Hey, is it on the hotline? Anyway, with Corona.
Oh my God, I'm listening. I just heard that live now on my wife, my bride's telephone.
Right.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
See, past me knows what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, here, listen to this one. You're going to love this.
All right, then.
My first decade as a nightlife photographer had to beg women to pose for booty pics. Things done changed. I want my booty in the picture. How the hell do they know to ask me for a booty pic? Don't know a damn thing about me. Never even met me before. Not even friends on social media. Yet, know to ask me for a booty pic. Is this because I'm black? Racial profiling? Is this because they believe all black men appreciate the booty? Everybody wants their booty in the picture. Women of all races do. Make sure you include my ass. That was the Puerto Rican woman. Many black women usually do a booty pose without even requesting a booty pic. White women do the same thing.
There you go.
Especially when they're drunk. Everybody wants their booty in the picture. Ain't this some shit? Still, I ain't complaining.
Good. It's direct from Facebook, Patrick Scott Barnes.
Women of all races do.
What'd you think of that, buddy?
Well,
that was the Puerto Rican woman.
Oh, you're feeding it back to me. Uh-oh.
Well, I answered your question with that was the Puerto Rican woman.
Yes. Okay, good. Well, here's another time-wasting trick I have. Hold on.
Whoa! Hey! Don't touch me!
There you go. For today's
Don't touch me!
coronavirus.
Whoa. Hey! Don't touch me! Hey! Hey! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Hey! Oh! Don't touch me! La la la!
There you go. Breaking news badly. Yeah, that's our stories for tonight. Don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me.
No break.
No, I don't know. Anyway, you got some Patrick Scott Barnes in there. The bill for MAGA.
Scott Barnes.
Here's a first link that I got for you. It says the bill for MAGA is due.
My battery's dying.
Oh, he hung up. The bill for MAGA is due. This is March 12th, 2020. And who's this? John Pavlovitz? There it is. Anyway. Okay. There he is. All right. Jack DeMarco, call it in. Saving my news stories here. Hey, buddy, what's up? I think we lost the Reverend there. Anyway, how the hell you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? In
hey,
crazy world of
doing well,
quarantine?
man. It is a crazy world. I appreciate your involvement in what we do.
Yeah. So I'm going to break some really bad news badly.
Oh
today.
no!
And first off, Mayor Buddy Dyer joining in with Mayor Deming, putting the city and the county, respectively, on a lockdown starting 11 p.m. Thursday. So I advise you to, do some shopping tomorrow. You can still go out for the order says you can still go out for like groceries and to the pharmacy.
Sure. Sure. Okay.
Things like that. I was trying to pull it up. I lost it when I had to call you. I had it here on my phone.
Anyway, are you doing it? You're working from home.
So
you're working from home though too right now, right?
I am working. Yeah, sort of. I work from home during the week because we still have to have somebody in because I do this news here for fun. No affiliation with what I actually do for a living,
Yes.
which is work in a newsroom.
Yeah.
This is independent of that. I have fun on here, and I like finding odd news stories that we would probably never do on our air.
Right.
But anyway, I do work at an assignment desk in a newsroom. And I never thought I'd be able to work from home, and I have been working from home. They found a way to do about 80% of what we do at home. There's some issues where, like, if press conferences come in and we need to route things to other stations and stuff like that, that can only be done from inside, like from in-house right now. Like we don't have the equipment and technology to do that from home. So, like, on the weekends, I oversee the assignment desk sort of on the weekends. Like just kind of help, keep it moving forward. And so I have to be in there on the weekends in case, press conferences need to be like physically like pressed and routed.
Shit goes down.
So it's interesting. Yeah, it's super interesting. In this, say what you want about the media. I have been trying to defend it because, all we did was tell people to wash their hands. We didn't tell people to go out and buy toilet paper. We didn't go out and tell them to go crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
The media didn't close down Italy. The media didn't close down the NCAA tournament. Like that has made way higher, levels of especially people in local media who you have to remember people in local media, they live in your town. So whatever town you're listening in, if you're getting mad at the local media for, them telling you what's going on right now and giving you what they're being, the access that they're being given, they live in your town and they have kids in your schools just like your kids. You know what I mean? They're doing their best to get the information out there. We're being quarantined. We're being quarantined as well.
Hold on. Okay, let me merge you in. Hold on, buddy. All right, merging everybody in. I think I got Jack and the Rev up. Hold on, let me reset it. There we go. All right, now I think I got everybody in, Jack the Rev.
Are you in? Am I? Jack there?
Hey, Rev, what up, buddy?
Hey, baby, I love you so much. I miss you.
Oh, God.
How you holding up on the quarantine, man? How you holding up on the quarantine?
I got to tell you, Jack, you've never been over here before, but when you do come, if you get through
It's
this,
a nice place.
okay. Yeah, I've said this earlier in the show, and I'll say it again. Me and my wife, we travel a lot, and we've said often that we should just take 5 days off and just stay at home and enjoy our home. And we're
and now you got 14 of them.
All right,
Yeah. So yeah, we were just discussing the. I was just going off on a little tangent about people being nice to local media because they live in the same towns as you know, the people that they're broadcasting to. They have kids in
Right.
the same
And that's
schools,
you, too.
know what I mean? Like,
You are in
for sure.
local
Like
media.
I am in local media. You know what I mean? And like I was
So,
saying, I do
hey,
for fun,
Jeff,
but like I
Jeff.
really do. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, can I slow you down just for a second because you're talking awfully fast? But can we?
That's
I don't
what I
know. Well, yeah, but what? Tell our listeners what it is exactly. What's your day job and why you are
just said that.
a Breaking Bad?
So
I
am my day job. No, I have to say this for legal reasons. No affiliation to me. Breaking news badly here with you, fun gentlemen.
Yes.
I do this like totally as a side fun. This like, but for my day job, I work for the assignment desk for WSTV, which is the ABC affiliate. Yeah, it's the ABC. It's the local ABC affiliate here in Orlando. And I work at their assignment desk. And basically, we're like the ER of the newsroom, the assignment desk. We yield viewer phone calls, news tips. We just man the phones at the news desk. We monitor emails. Anyone can access the 911 calls that come across the 911 to different counties like Orlando,
911
County,
what?
Volusia. Like you can go to if you Googled active calls Orlando, like you would see the 911 calls that are coming through the Orlando switchboard for 911.
Really?
Yeah, everyone has access
Google
to it.
that right now.
Yeah, it's public. It's the Sunshine laws here in Florida give a wide range of public access to records here in Florida that a lot of other states don't have. So like I monitor that, and we have some scanners, other scanners that are also available to the general public, and some that aren't, through the newsroom, and we organize like reporters and photographers, like we pair them up and put them on stories and put them in news vans or give them remote backpacks so they can go live from locations, and we send them in those locations. So I'm doing some like logistics and. I'm confirming stories for producers. Producers will see a story in another news outlet, state website, and they'll say, "Hey, can you confirm that this happened?" And
oh my God, Luke!
Yeah,
I get it.
I do a lot. Now you know why I talk so fast, man. Now you know why.
Oh, I know. Wow.
In a quick summary, talking with Jack DeMarco, he gets jetpacks for interviewing reporters out there in the world. So you better appreciate his technical skills.
I love how that came to be that I get jetpacks for reporters. That's awesome.
JB, and Jack, let me tell you what I just learned from you. Everything you just said. I learned three things, and I learned nothing, zero, and nada. And nada just like that.
All right, well, thanks. You asked.
Back to you, Jack.
Okay. Anyway, back to the news.
I said back to you, Jack.
Back to Jack.
Here's the really bad. So JB, here's the bad part about the breaking.
Back to you, Jack.
Is I totally forgot I was doing it, and I was just out hitting the heavy bag for like an hour, just punching the shit out of that thing.
Is that a euphemism for something?
No, it's legit. Like I was working out.
It is.
Doing yoga and totally forgot that I was doing the show tonight until you texted me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm a total fuck up."
Punch in the bag. We know you like to do that.
Yeah, I know, but it's not a euphemism for anything. Like it's legit, like martial arts. Like I like to punch shit.
Oh,
but you legit like to jerk off too. You've said that many times. We can go back to the tape.
What did you say? What did I do?
You love to jerk it off, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, who doesn't love to jerk off? I could find the article while we're talking, but I just saw an article recently that said jerking off is good for your mental health.
Right.
Well, that's why you're so friendly and happy and ready to go.
Goddamn right.
Nice.
All right,
you, Jack.
I got one for you.
So yeah, I'm so sorry, man. But if you got some,
I got some for you.
I can look up a few while we're going. But if you got some, man,
male expelled
in your court, man.
Male expelled from public beach after using inflatable doll as buoyancy aid, and it was like one of those inflatable open mouth sex dolls. Anyway,
dude, why you got to bring me into this, bro? I told you not to talk about getting busted for that.
I'm so sorry. The CNN.com has a story that says Florida City shuts down part of the park due to an annual snake orgy. That's from February of this year. You may have reported that, Jack. Anyway. You ever hear of that? I mean, so there's like some ritualistic snake orgy that's got to occur. Of course, that's here in Florida, Lakeland.
Yeah.
To be exact. Anyway.
What kind of snake was it?
Who knows?
I found a snake. I found a snake in my house today, like a 2-foot rat snake. Really nice looking guy.
Oh wow!
But it was like, my cat was all.
So
acting
tell us
weird.
that story. All right, go ahead.
Cat's all acting weird. I'm kind of looking at him. I'm like, oh, it looks like he's like, investigating a lizard or something in the house. But he was being weirdly pensive about it and like creeping in places he normally doesn't hang out. Right. So like I moved back some like, dirty laundry that was like next to the basket that hadn't quite made it in the basket. And there he was, 2-foot fucking rat snake, just, looking up at me. Little baby. Like he was young because he was long, but he was skinny. And then it freaked me out. It was pretty dark. So at first I was a little scared because he was dark colored. So I thought moccasin. But, upon closer inspection, he was a little red-eyed rat snake. So I just picked him up and let him slither free.
Well,
that was my stories of quarantine from today.
Yeah, that's funny. I like how you're giving us like breaking news badly of what happened like around your apartment and shit. That was kind of funny. You're like, well, today dodged a snake in my Florida room, and I was just out there, and the cat was behaving really peculiar, and I was like, what's going on? And it was like, oh my god,
Well, I got to stop for a minute. Are you guys being responsible for the quarantine? Are you listening to the quarantine?
I'm a snake.
I think the Reverend dropped off.
Slithery little sneaky snake.
Okay.
I'm so slithery and sneaky because I'm a snake.
Right.
Slithering in your garden.
Is that you or the Reverend doing that?
Snake. I'm a snake.
No, that was an audio source. Anyway. No, I think the Reverend dropped off is what I was saying there. Anyway, Jack Snake in the Garden.
Yeah, dude, I'm really sorry. I totally forgot, man. So unprofessional.
No, don't worry about it. I got some cool stuff. I got some stuff to take your mind out of it. Here's Rock Lobster in reverse.
That actually sounds pretty sweet.
Crazy. Whoa, that's pretty crazy, right?
That is pretty crazy. I like that, though.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and like that out there in the universe then. That's Rock Lobster in reverse. Look that up. Okay. And what's it say? Child abusers will be publicly hanged in Pakistan. This is article I found over the dailymail.co.uk.
Like child sexual abusers, I'm not sure I really have a problem with that.
Child abusers will be hanged in Pakistan under new law plans agreed by Parliament. This was back February. How are they dealing with it? Do you know anything about them? I mean,
Pakistan?
Yeah, what's
I really haven't
the
heard.
world view on this whole pandemic deal is kind of crazy. It's.
I mean, everyone is like some countries are handling it really well. I have a friend who was traveling, and she was traveling to New Zealand and happened to be on a plane with somebody who got it, right? And this girl's a Floridian traveling in New Zealand. They tracked her down, found her, got her tested, kept her quarantined, and she's finally passing it. She tested positive, but she never got super sick, but she was feeling pretty shitty, but she passed through it. And their government was all over that shit. Clearly in Italy people are dying. It's just it's I know people are saying oh, I'm not sick, and but it's you might not be sick, but if you're young, you could still carry it and then pass it along to an older person. Right. So if you are around older people, you have to be really cognizant of that, because this is a legit thing. You know what I mean? This isn't a conspiracy or a hoax like Trump called it way back in January.
Wow.
When we first started hearing about this thing. You know what I mean?
Is it really?
He did. He called it.
I know. But is it really a hoax? Huh?
No, dude, this is
it's not a hoax,
people.
is it? Yeah. Okay, so that's what kind of my point is like, man, you talk about fake news. It's like it springs from the very, hills of DC over there. The place is now a swamp fountain. It's like emanating swamp water.
It is, but here's the thing: like major businesses,
swan-like pattern.
A hoax. If this was a hoax, major businesses like the NCAA tournament would not have shut down. That thing generates millions and millions of dollars. There is no effing way that those people are shutting down because this is a hoax.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like
it's the old two in the bush. One in the hand, two in the bush. So I think what's happening, even if it is a hoax, think about all of the money on the back end these companies are invariably going to get. And that's why, when people say, hey, just push this very first piece of legislation through, well, that's typically not how the government works, bro. And so people can get online, do all these viral hate videos of Democrats doing this and that. That just really shows you up as somebody who doesn't understand how the government works, and you think this is a football team.
Right.
This is not a football game, bro. This is life and death.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But both parties are acting irresponsible. Like, Trump and his freaking Russian Republican cronies are trying to, sneak through, corporate bailouts and giant, payoffs for corporations in the end, like, that kind of BS. But, Nancy Pelosi is trying to put through like some voter acts and some, some collective bargaining type things with government employees, some things that are like, against like some hard, it's like, just like as against we are as wanting corporation bailouts, like Republicans are just as against like the voter things that Nancy, it's like same day voter registration. Like, that's, she's trying to sneak that through. This is not a time to play fucking election politics, and this is not a time to play corporate fucking business politics. This is a time to really help the American people. And if either party is being disingenuous, you know what I mean? Either party is being intellectually disingenuous if they are trying to claim that they are trying to help the American people. I'm sorry, I'm going to climb off my soapbox.
Folks, we got it.
But, I had no news story, so I had to...
These people.
Okay. Breaking news badly, Jack DeMarco. Loving
Man,
what you're...
sorry, that was my political rant.
Loving what you're giving us.
That was my political rant for the day. That's my...
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So I'm glad to hear you're doing well. We'll keep in touch for future episodes.
Yeah.
We got another one scheduled next week.
Are you maintaining social distancing, by the way?
I'm trying to. I believe I am.
Word.
Yes. Thank you for asking. Okay, so we talked about the snake orgy. Sorry. I was going to say, too, people out there in the world that are used to providing music in restaurants, all that whole world has been shut down. But the beauty of the fact that we have the internet now is there's a lot of great stuff and content and people that you can actually go, get their Venmo or get their PayPal and give them a little tip, show them a little love. You got to take a lot into consideration. Yeah.
I love where your head's at.
Anyway, but that's a great.
Facebook, people are doing all kinds of live music jams.
Yep.
From local musicians to
great stuff out there.
I think I just heard Metallica was going to do a Monday night session every Monday.
Wow, really?
For starting next week or some shit like that. Yeah. Word.
Well,
what is that, whale noises?
I don't know. Anyway, let's do this. I do want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. Jack, you most especially right now because we're still talking. But, overall.
Yeah, again, I'm sorry for being super unprofessional.
Hey.
And just, taking the time to climb on my
Don't worry.
soapbox and rant about politics
worry.
and the world that we live in. But
well,
that's some breaking news badly right there.
There you go. It's from your it's all raw and organic, and that's what we're after. But what I was going to say too is, the cool thing is that we've been, we're kind of built for this. So through everything, this episode, we've had a guy call in, and then the other guest called in right behind him, and I thought he was going to stay on with us for the whole thing, the first guy. Anyway, so we we moved everything really fluid from one thing to another. Anyway, but that's kind of maybe a great example. I just want to say that we try to encourage people every week. We try to learn about people every week. And, this whole Breaking News Badly is an extension of that whole effort. So, anyway.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
And saying all of that, love you, buddy. Be well, stay well.
Love you, man.
Talk about or promote? You got anything going on out there?
No, just stay safe out there, people.
See the Reverend
This thing is
on
serious.
Facebook Live. He's going to do a DJ thing. No, he is not. He is. I don't know.
We'll talk before next
Anyway.
week, my friend.
Yes. All right. Message me. Take care. Love you, buddy.
All right.
Later. Thanks
Later.
again.
Love you.
Be great to each other. What is this? After this, we do have a track from Car Seat Headrest. The JB Rev Show, WJBWnetworks.com. Let's get our sponsors in there as well. We want to thank PocasHottest.com, ShannonHoltArt.com, OrangeBlossomBrewing.com, EtoileBoutique.com, BadassSandwiches.com, Infotainment.com, Kush Ultra Lounge, Dank Orlando City Smoke Shop, Orlando Art Army, Iron Cafe, Iron Cow Cafe, thank you, Kathmandu Winter Park, GroundingRoots.com, EarTheater.usdjs.com, Norah'sWineCigars.com, LittleIndies.org, and RemixRecordShop.com. Thank you so much. Season 10 of the JB Rev Show keeps rocking. That's how we do it. Local businesses are awesome. Thank you.
Schizophrenia dreaming. I got a real bad feeling. It tastes like lemon. Having trouble breathing. Getting high on nothing. Taking credit for nothing. Inside my head is an empty head. Introducing friends to friends. Say there's a hole in the ceiling. Everything but me and it has got no feeling. Smoke is pouring out the bed. I crawl like an animal to you. It's a time of need and I need you to help me play. Animal to you. I crawl an animal to you. I crawl an animal to you. I crawl animal to you. Whoa, my can't cool me down. No, it can't cool me down. Cool. Whoa, my brow. Can't cool me down. It can't cool me down. Cool. Whoa, my brow. Can't cool me down. It can't cool me down. Vivid visions. It's been so long since I heard your voice and Felt you feeling for me. Camille, Raquel, at the mortuary. I like Chopin. Won't you sing me to sleep? No, don't, Daniel. You think you see a light, but there is nothing in a flame but fire. Is it satisfaction? Is it only practice for the real thing? Snapped out of the drip screaming. Hey, we're not supposed to be here. Hey, we're not supposed to be here. My blood is dirty water, draining, bleeding, wash it down the drain. Devil in the other, somebody else's mistake. I'm dripping with sweat in my hands. I can't hold anything in my hands. I've only made one mistake in my life. I've only made one mistake. I'm going
WJBW, all one word, .com.
WJBW, Orlando, Florida. The first quasi-radio web show.
Wow. Yeah.